Hello chess friends, here's an awesome chess composition. This was composed by Adolf Anderssen, the famous Adolf Anderssen. You know, he was one of the best players of his time, apart from the great Paul Morphy. So, it's white to play and checkmate in 3 moves. So go ahead, pause the video, try to figure out the answer. The answer is very interesting and it's based on a very interesting type of a Zook swang. Alright, if you want you can pause it. I'm gonna go ahead and show you the move. Now, basically, if you observe the pieces, you'll notice something very interesting. If this rook on h7 moves away, let's say it just goes to any square, we have bishop takes on g7 with the checkmate. Alright, so rook cannot really move away from h7. What happens if the knight moves away? Well, if the knight goes anywhere else, we have the move rook to g8, and that's a checkmate, Arabian mate, right? Alright, so knight cannot move, rook cannot move. What happens if the bishop leaves this diagonal, e8 to h5 diagonal? Let's say it goes anywhere like a random square like a4. Then we have the move knight g6, and that's a checkmate with a double knight. At the same time, knight f7 is a checkmate as well. So the knight has to keep guarding this particular diagonal. So all of the black pieces are tied down to their particular defenses, and we just need to kind of slightly disturb the black position, in which case it will be a checkmate, right? The first move is very important. Now, you have to make a waiting move, but it has to be a useful and interesting waiting move. You just cannot make a random move. For example, king a2 is a terrible move for a very simple reason. I can simply give a check on h2 and even then go back for, and nothing has changed, right? So you should not go on squares where you can be checked. So these two squares are out of question. The first move is king to b1. Now the question is, can't he just give a check over here with something like bishop to g6? The problem is obviously he cannot, because knight takes on g6 would be a checkmate. It's a counter check and a mate. So he can't really play that. He cannot move his rook, as we have seen bishop takes g7 is a checkmate. He cannot move his knight, as we have seen rook to g8 is a checkmate. But he has one interesting thing. He can keep defending if he moves his bishop from e8 to h5, and his plan is very simple. He will simply keep repeating the moves bishop e8 and bishop h5 over and over again and try to defend everything, right? So how do you play against this? Here is a very important and strong move. White plays the move rook to g6. This is a blockade, right? And this disturbs the black position, creates some disharmony in his position with a very strong threat. Now knight f7 is a checkmate. He needs to react. What happens if he captures? Well, we know it's knight takes, double knight checkmate. What happens if the rook moves away? Well, there are two checkmates in this particular case. You can capture the rook, and that's a checkmate. At the same time, if you prefer, bishop takes g7 is also a very interesting and beautiful checkmate. Let's go back. Rook cannot move. If the knight moves, we all know that just rook g8 is a checkmate. And okay, he has nothing else to do. If he captures, then simply knight takes on g6, and that's a mate. This was the chess composition by Adolf Anderssen. Kind of easy. The only thing was king b1 had to be found, which is not really tough to find, right? So king b1, and the impressive move was move number 2, rook to g6 over here, where you just put the rook over here and disrupt his entire position. The bishop can no longer go back to e8. This was the key idea. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. Until next time.